Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Let's dive straight into an Explore the Tarot session where we look at one card of the day and then link it to an archetype from my Wild Unknown deck and kind of just really dig a bit deeper into the many layered meanings of a card. And yeah, this series is really here to help you connect with the tarot on a personal level and to start to use your own intuition to guide you and to really, find your own truths. That's what this series is all about. Okay, so let's take a look at what card is coming up for us today. Right, we've got the Page of Pentacles. It's a very exuberant, jubilant, happy card in a lot of ways. Bright yellow sky, fertile ground, copse of trees here and a beautiful mountain, fertile kind of soil here. And this page, he looks quite hopeful. He looks like he's sort of dreaming and that he's quite wistful. Maybe he's thinking about his abundant future. Okay, so let's pick an archetype. I just pick these randomly. We'll see what comes up. Go with this one. The heart. Beautiful card. Again, all about joy, really. All about being alive, about being radiant and happy. We often think of our heart as the center of our emotional landscape. Our heart radiates the most powerful energy, and it is the kind of center of our manifestation process as well. Okay, let's look at what Kim Krans has to say about the heart. The heart, the home, the center, the throne. It is possible, from an imaginal point of view, to sense the heart as a place. Either we are there within the realm of expansion and compassion, or we have drifted somewhere else. There is no in-between. It is common for us to leave this archetypal centre without realising it, as the world, with its seductive twists and turns, offers us frequent departure. We may even become a stranger to the landscape of the heart, leaving it vacant for long stretches of time. The seat of the heart is often reclaimed by nature, music, dance, and the presence of children or animals. This card encourages us to move past the layers of life's tangles and knots and enter the wild and sacred centre of the self. The most precious throne in the galaxy is awaiting your return. Beautiful. The part of that really resonates for me in relation to the Page of Pentacles is the seat of the heart is often reclaimed by nature, music, dance, and the presence of children or animals. So the Page of Pentacles, he is a childlike figure, he or she is a childlike figure. There's a kind of wistfulness to this character. This attitude is all about kind of viewing this concept of abundance and wealth and riches with a sort of innocence. Because this is in the suit of Pentacles, I really feel that what is coming up here is us being asked to really reflect upon our connection with the physical world, the kind of energy of the physical world and how we relate to it, what we think we deserve, what we think we're allowed to kind of seek joy in terms of a physicality of what's around us. This is really talking about our relationship to money, our relationship to abundance and wealth, our relationship to this idea of what abundance really is. The guidebook talks about how we can often wander away from our heart. That our heart is our center, it's our home, it's the place where we feel alive and joyful, and where we feel worthy, where we feel a sense of contentment, of fulfillment, of love, of generosity. That, when we're feeling those emotions, when we're kind of moving from a place of wanting to embody those feelings, moving from a place of wanting to enact those emotions and turn them into reality, then we're living from our heart. We're residing within our heart. And when we're not feeling those things, we've wandered away from our heart. And you're either in your heart or you're not. And there isn't any there's no other choice. You either live from your heart or you don't live from your heart. And often when we're not living from our heart, we're living from our heads. And what does our mind often do? We tend to overthink. We live in a society where we are conditioned to overthink, to feel like there isn't enough, to feel like we're not enough, to feel like we need to prove that we are worthy of existing in the world, where we feel like the resources around us are there to be abused, to be overused. When we're living in our heads, we're often not really, really embodying this sense of gratitude for the fertility of life around us. And that really extends to our capacity to develop a good relationship with money as well. Because really money is just a symbol of abundance, right? It's a symbol of wealth. It's a kind of token or a sigil of this idea, this concept of wealth and generosity and fullness and fulfillment. In our society, we've taken money to be the only symbol, the only kind of indicator of success. We've isolated it, we've turned it into this separate thing. But really, it is absolutely linked to abundance in nature, to this sense of living from the heart, from playfulness, from this kind of innocence of viewing the world as this beautiful, generous, abundant source that we can feel grateful for, that we can appreciate every day, every moment of our lives. And when we can really tap into that sense of appreciating abundance around us, of really recognizing what abundance is in its fullness, just kind of expanding the spectrum of our understanding of what wealth means, kind of moving beyond this idea that wealth is money, that it's actually so many things, and that money is just a symbol that taps into this kind of very complex web of what it means to live abundantly. It's just one aspect of abundance, but it's not the be-all and end-all. When we can start to tap into that and really kind of just live from a place of feeling that we are in abundance for the very fact that we live on this planet, that there is life flourishing and thriving all around us, and to kind of really just recognize how special that is, and to also realize that our hearts are connected to that energy, that web of abundance. And when we can kind of live within our heart, within this place of gratitude for just the very fact of our existence, when we can do that, then all kinds of abundance will start to kind of come up into our lives. That is the point at which we can begin to call in more wealth, because we have an intention to then give it back. We have an intention towards generosity. We have an intention towards being more appreciative. We have an intention towards recognizing the abundance of the world in all its kind of magnificent scope. So I really feel that the Page of Pentacles here, combined with the heart, is kind of wanting to remind us to really go back to the basics, the foundations of these words and concepts of abundance, wealth, success. Life is success. You are alive. You are existing. That makes you inherently successful. Yeah. You have nothing else to prove. And what does it mean to live abundantly? Well, it's so simple, really. I mean, look at the page. He's sort of living in this state of happiness, just being on this fertile land, and just kind of really soaking in the joy and fertility that surrounds him or her. And that's what it means to kind of live abundantly. And when you can kind of meet the world from that place, from that kind of foundational sense of appreciation, when you can do that, the world then shapes itself to you. It brings in more abundance. It brings in more wealth. It brings you more fulfillment. But you're already living from a place in your heart where you feel those things. And so all you're really doing is just expanding your capacity for more of it. But you already know that what you have is enough. I think that's a really powerful message, and it's something that I'm really kind of leaning into and trying to embody in my own life. And a practice that really helps is sort of gratitude journaling, to really make it a conscious practice to actively practice gratitude, to actively express my gratitude and appreciation for everything around me. And it can be in the simplest of things. It can be in the kind of colours and patterns of these leaves. It can be in the soft, comforting texture of wood. It can be the feeling of a warm mug of tea in my hand. And I know when I'm really directing that appreciation and gratitude towards it, because one, I'm fully focused upon it, and I feel centered. There aren't any other thoughts coming up beyond just seeing it. I'm not trying to analyze it. I'm not trying to label it, give it names. I look at this leaf and I don't think, oh, what is it called? What do I call these things? I'm not attaching a language to it. It's just a seeing of it, a recognizing it, a kind of connection with it that goes beyond language. So there's that. And also I know that I'm living from my heart when I can feel my body reacting to that, responding to that, and this kind of wave of tingling that comes through my body. And that's when I know that I've kind of really sent out a wave of gratitude to the world in the smallest of things. And so I really encourage you to try and find your own flavour of appreciating things, of witnessing the world through those eyes, through the eyes of the Page of Pentacles. And I'd love to know how you get on. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you again very soon.